Hello everyone, welcome to my new fanfiction reading challenge, channel. So, tonight's actually a very interesting night. It may not be a night at the time I upload this video, but tonight's a nice night. It is raining outside, nice and misty, and I don't know about you guys, but I like reading outside, so I'm reading in this nice mist. So, anyway, today, we are actually going to start the channel with some of my favorite stories by, I know you're probably going to hear this, so don't be flattered when I say this, but by my favorite author on FIMfiction, Betty Starlight. So, shout out to you. Like I said, I know you're probably going to watch this. So, yeah. So, today we're going to be reading Chapter 1 of The Ghost of Chicken Scootaloo. So, this story is about how Scootaloo was forced to stay in a chicken costume after having been, somewhat bad during her lifetime. Here, we got a little, I don't know how you would put this, but we got, a little insight into it. It says, Scootaloo was a good pony when she was alive. Well, mostly. She stole a few things, and while she never technically repented, she was allowed into heaven. The only problem is, now she's condemned to wear a chicken costume for the rest of eternity as punishment for her misdeeds in life. However, when Sunny Starscout managed to do something that hadn't been done in 2,000 years earlier, and became an alicorn, that created a spark that drew Scootaloo to her home. She finally arrives one morning, and a few weeks later, the following events are what transpires. So, we're just going to be reading Chapter 1 today. That being said, it's a pretty decent-sized chapter. It is 2,359 words. But yeah, if you guys enjoy the story, go ahead and check out Betty Starlight's profile on FIMfiction. And that's if you don't want to wait for me to read the rest of the story, but I don't know about you guys. I like listening to people read fan fiction while I work, so I will be right back. I just need to get, some snacks or something. This will be fun. Alright, so we're going to get started here with Chapter 1, Awkward Meetings. And once again, thank you to Betty Starlight for allowing me to read your story. I guarantee you guys there will be more stories by her. We're probably going to read The Peculiar Tale of Twinkleshine next. You guys are going to find that one very interesting. I love that one. And then, if it's finished at the time, we're going to read Philly Eyes, and that is my absolute favorite story I have ever read. Anyway, let's get started. Sunny's bed was at the outer wall of her house, so it sat next to a window. Her Twilight Sparkle plushie lay there, beside her pillow, as its sewn-on eyes also stared at the peculiar sight. Sunny herself stood there in the center of her bedroom, naked as she stared right through the clear orange Pegasus in the weird uniform that morning. Sunny Starscout could see right through her, but also couldn't help but notice she was wearing a white chicken costume. Her forehooves are free from the white feathered costume as she moves her left forehoof to move the comb over the headpiece to her right, while she lowers it back to the floor, while her pale feathers and orange-taloned hind legs can be seen in the electric light on Sunny's ceiling overhead. She smiles before saying in a raspy voice from behind the strap-on beak over her face, "Hiya! You're probably wondering who I am, why I'm in your room, and why I'm wearing a chicken costume," before adjusting her little wings underneath the white coverings of the costume back down to her sides. Sunny Starscout could only stand there and widen her cerulean eyes as she stared at the Pegasus and said, yeah, among other things, like, why can I see right through you? The Pegasus smiles nervously as she stammers out, yeah, about that. She widens her wisteria purple eyes. You see, I'm a ghost. Sunny gives a wide-eyed grimace. Huh? The Pegasus smiles nervously. Yeah, my name is Scootaloo, and I stole a bunch of stuff when I was alive. And so, now I gotta wear a chicken costume forever. Sunny widens her eyes and narrows her mouth as she stutters. Okay. Yeah, Scootaloo widens her eyes again. You see, I stole candy bars. Sunny frowns. And that justifies an eternal chickening? Scootaloo straightens her mouth while staring at the alicorn. Well, I stole a lot of candy bars. Sunny widened her eyes. Obviously. Why are you in my room? Scootaloo smiles nervously again. You see, when you became an alicorn, that drew me here. Sunny frowns and raises her left eyebrow. What do you mean? You see, I wasn't here. I was in the afterlife, while also wearing my oh-so-flattering outfit. Sunny smiles slightly, but not so much that she believes the Pegasus will notice. Scootaloo straightens her mouth and nods. Right. Well, anyway, the magic of your transformation reached me and drew me to you. And so now, I'm in your room. She widens her eyes. Hiya. Sunny smiles a little bit more. Well, that should be no problem then. Just go back. Scootaloo frowns. Well, I can't. Sunny widens her eyes and glowers again. What do you mean you can't? Scootaloo raises her gaze slightly. I don't know how. Sunny sighs. Well, okay. She eyes the Pegasus carefully. Can you take the costume off? Scootaloo sighs and scrunches her mouth underneath the beak as her eyes narrow and she grumpily states, Unfortunately, no. Sunny widens her eyes as she stammers. My life just keeps getting weirder. Scootaloo widens her eyes again and frowns. Sorry? Scootaloo spreads her little wings out to her sides with their white covers. How should I know? Before lowering them back to her sides. Sunny looks up at the spirit. Well, right. Hey, I'm gonna make some biscuits and grab some juice for breakfast. You're welcome to come along. Scootaloo smiles softly as she giggles slightly. Well, it's not like I have anything else to do. Scootaloo stands on the far right of the wooden floor of Sunny's kitchen, while the alicorn furrows her brow in focus as a can of biscuits is encased in a yellow glow and knocks against the table to make a tapping noise before the can goes pop and explodes, which only startles the alicorn as she gasps and widens her cerulean eyes. She looks to the Pegasus on her right. Yeah, biscuit cans can always surprise me. She smiles and giggles as she looks back to the oven. It doesn't really matter how well I try to expect it. It always startles me when it pops. Scootaloo smiles visibly from the sides of her strap-on beak and says, So, what's your name? And I'm guessing you're a princess. What are you the princess of? Sunny's horn glows as the biscuits glow magically and arrange themselves on the oven tray, sitting on the stovetop. She casually says, Oh, I'm not a princess of anything. My name's Sunny, though. Sunny Star Scout. Scootaloo widens her eyes and says with her mouth aghast. What? Wow. In my time period, alicorns were always princesses. So I just kind of assumed you'd be the princess of something, too, you know. Sunny keeps her eyes forward as her oven beeps, and she soon moves her right forehoof down right over the front lever. So the oven opens, and she uses her magic to encase the baking tray in a golden glow before it moves down to the second rack up inside the oven. She kicks her right foreleg up to close the oven before bringing it down and looks over at the Pegasus spirit. Well, surprise. She widens her eyes. I'm not a princess. Scootaloo chuckles slightly. Well, so you say. Anyway, when you did whatever you did to become an alicorn, that revitalized long-dead magic, and in turn, me. Well, me partially into this plane of existence. And since it was your transformation, I'm now tethered to you. Sunny frowns before glancing to the left to check on the biscuits through the oven door, and then back to Scootaloo. You seem to know a lot about magic for a Pegasus. Scootaloo giggles again. Well, let's just say that 2,000 years is a very long time. I see, says the alicorn before frowning. She glances back to Scootaloo. So, what now? Scootaloo flinches and closes her eyes while saying exasperated. I really don't know, okay? I'm just here now, and I'm wearing a chicken costume. Suddenly, there's a knock on Sunny's front door, to the left of the ponies. Sunny widens her eyes to Scootaloo. Scoots, you stay here and make sure the biscuits don't burn. I'll get the door. Before turning her body left and trotting that way. Roughly 15 feet through her living room and past her green couch on the left and to her tan front door in the dimly lit purple room. She opens the knob on the lower left with her mouth and turns her head to twist it back to the right to open it. And then corrects her neck to behold the smiling blue unicorn there with her red eyes. "Hiya, Sunny," Izzy says as the sun rises behind her, faintly illuminating the dirt roads of Maritime Bay. Sunny widens her eyes and exclaims frantically, "You're not going to believe it, Izzy. There's a ghost here." And she's wearing a chicken costume. Izzy frowns. "What?" while staring at Sunny with her wide red eyes. Sunny frantically nods. "Yeah," she stops. "Come in here and see for yourself." Sunny backs up, and Izzy soon trots through the door with her mouth scrunched in confusion, as her dark blue mane bounces with each step, before her horn shines and it shuts behind her in a blue glow. She stares intently at the clear, see-through Pegasus in a chicken outfit across the living room and the kitchen and widens her eyes as she says, "Hi, I'm Izzy." Sunny trots back into the kitchen as Scootaloo trots around her right side to head out into the foyer, while the alicorn goes back to the middle of the kitchen and turns her body to face the oven window to the left again to watch the biscuits, as she thinks to herself, "I really need to get an oven timer." The Pegasus widens her eyes while standing just beyond the kitchen door, and says in her raspy voice from behind the beak, "Hi, I'm Scootaloo." Izzy smiles. "Well, you gotta admit, this is a little awkward. But why are you in a chicken costume? And does it ruffle your feathers at all for any reason?" Scootaloo narrows her eyes in annoyance and says in a voice both croaky and grumpy, "I'm a Pegasus and have feathers anyway, you know." Izzy smiles and giggles as she stammers out, "I'm really sorry, Scootaloo. I couldn't resist." She shakes her head and composes herself as the dark blue wavy mane falls around her shoulders. And then she adjusts her gaze to the Pegasus while leaning slightly. "Seriously, though, why are you in such, foul get-up, anyway?" Scootaloo's mouth is scrunched awkwardly, as she really doesn't know whether to be offended or amused at this point, and she widens her gaze to the unicorn and stutters out, "It's kind of my punishment for, some bad things I did in life." She nods her head slightly. "They still let me into heaven, in fact," she sighs, "but I gotta wear a chicken costume." Izzy stares, wide-eyed, and leans forward slightly as she exclaims, "Oh, wow. It looks good on you." Scootaloo noticeably frowns from behind the beak. Really?" Izzy raises her head as her mane bounces and smiles. "Yeah, really. I mean, the beak is a cute addition, and I like how they made your wings and the chicken's wings the same in there." She widens her eyes, and it totally makes sense that your forelegs wouldn't even be in the costume like that. She bounces again. "I mean, chickens don't even have those." Scootaloo widens her eyes. Wow, I never thought any pony would think that this looks good on me. Your name is Izzy, right?" Izzy nods. "Last I checked." Sunny trots in with 2 plates in her pale blue magical grasp, floating at her right as she looks at the unicorn and says, "Hey, I made biscuits. Sit down at the table and join me." Izzy Moonbow sits across from Sunny at her bright, unpolished wood kitchen table, while the alicorn smiles and stares back at her from behind a steaming plate of 2 buttery, juicy biscuits and a small glass of orange juice. Izzy magically takes a sip of juice before lowering it and staring back at Sunny. "So, now you have a chicken ghost." Scootaloo is sitting between the 2 ponies on the left of Izzy as she says, "I'm not a chicken, I'm a pony in a chicken costume." Sunny smiles wider. "Well, right, Chicken Scootaloo is here now." Scootaloo grows noticeably annoyed as Izzy widens her red eyes and continues while her mane bounces. Right, Chicken Scootaloo." Scootaloo closes her eyes as she frantically yells, "I'm a pony!" Sunny widens her eyes to the Pegasus on her right. "Right, you're a Pegasus." Izzy smiles, "in a chicken costume." Sunny leans towards the unicorn and whispers lowly out of the left side of her mouth, "Shut up, Izzy!" At this point, Scootaloo can only mutter something inaudibly underneath her beak. Izzy notices the Pegasus is irritated, so she leans her way at the left and says, "But again, the suit looks really good on you." She smiles. "I think it's cute." Scootaloo looks to the unicorn and she widens her eyes as once again, she's not sure whether to be annoyed or flattered. Sunny notices the tension as she widens her eyes at the unicorn and says, "So, what did you want to do today, Izzy?" before magically lifting a biscuit to her mouth in a golden glow. Izzy looks at the alicorn. "Well, I just finished 2 projects yesterday and wanted to take a little break, so I thought I'd try my way down to the road and see what my best friend was up to. So, ta-da, here I am." Sunny smiles at the goofiness of her friend before saying, "Yes, you are indeed right there." before taking more bites from the glowing biscuit on the right side of her face. Izzy smiles as her right biscuit glows blue and floats up to her face. Yes, I could be somewhere else, but I'm not. I'm in your house. Sunny's face visibly shakes as she tries in vain to suppress a grin and snickers slightly at the unicorn. Yes, you're not anywhere else, but here, right here, in my house. Izzy finishes chewing her bite before looking at Sunny. Yes, I am in your house. Scootaloo just can't take it anymore at this point when she widens her eyes and exclaims, I get it already! Izzy is here! Izzy looks at Scootaloo on her left while grinning, yes, in this house. Sunny looks at Izzy and smiles, with me. Izzy turns to face Sunny, in this house, here with you. Sunny nods, yes. Seriously, knock it off now, girls, Scootaloo then yells towards the center of the table to No Pony. Izzy giggles lightly as she turns left to face the Pegasus. Sorry, Scootaloo, but you're now initiated. Scootaloo widens her purple eyes to the unicorn. Initiated? Izzy smiles. Well, yeah, she jitters while continuing. For the adventure me and Sunny are about to go on, you are now one of the crew. Sunny widens her eyes to the unicorn. Wait, adventure? What? Izzy turns right to face the alicorn and frowns. Well, we have to help poor Scootaloo here go back to heaven, right? Scootaloo frowns again. And if you can get the chicken outfit off of me, that'd be great too. Izzy turns left to Scootaloo. One thing at a time, Scootaloo-chan. One thing at a time. So yeah, everyone, that is the beginning of an amazing story. I will admit it sounds kind of strange at first, but this story branches off in so many different directions, it is not funny. And then, after reading this one and The Peculiar Tale of Twinkleshine, this is all going to connect into my favorite fanfiction ever. So, I'm really excited to share these with you guys. Go ahead, check out Betty Starlight's profile on FIMfiction, and if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so that you'll know when the new chapters come out. I'll see you guys in the next video.